Hello everyone, my name is Christina Barr. I'm the author of The Dark Mermaid and also The Sea Witch, and I want to tell you guys about the series, Cursed Water series, and about these titles, and hopefully you guys will be inspired to go buy it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So the story of The Dark Mermaid opens up, it's about Luna. She's a mermaid, and she was born with a serious defect. On the surface world, they call it kindness. So that sets the tone of what kind of world we're dealing with. So when she comes of age, there's like a rite of passage where they're supposed to prove themselves and kill a being, like some kind of great, predator. And so Luna ends up accomplishing this and accidentally reveals that she is magic. She didn't know that she had magical powers. And her father, who is a very harsh man, or merman rather, is very pleased with this. And so then he wants to see her in action. They find out that there's humans exploring their waters, and so they want to kill him because that's what they do. And Luna is enchanted by a beautiful, young man with black hair and blue eyes. His name is Ian. He may or may not be named after Ian Somerhalder. But anyway, she doesn't know why she saved his life, but she saved his life, and her father is livid. And so he exiles her and says, you have to kill this boy, whatever it takes, by the time you start your 17th year or else. And he just leaves her abandoned and alone. And so she spends about a year alone, and then she meets the Sea Witch, and the Sea Witch, they come to an understanding, and the Sea Witch takes her in. She teaches her how to use magic and so on. And there's all this history between the Sea Witch and her father that's very interesting, and I'll leave it at that. And so eventually she's reunited with Ian, and that whole ultimatum that her father gave to her comes into play. She's forced to make some decisions she doesn't want to make. And so the next book ends up being the repercussions of what happened at the end of the first book. And so Luna, throughout the first book, she's not too concerned about it, but the Sea Witch has a concern about her being touched by dark magic. What would happen if her magic turned dark? Because the Sea Witch has made some mistakes in the past and has gone a darker route. And Luna's father has a connection to the darkness, and the darkness is, there's like a source of dark magic that is like a sentient being. Her father has a deep connection to this darkness, and the Sea Witch has been corrupted by this darkness, so they don't want it to corrupt Luna. And ultimately it does touch her, and she's terrified of it totally kind of taking over her life. She's haunted in her memories. She's literally haunted in her nightmares that manifest into the real world. And so her only bright spot really is Ian, but Ian himself has a lot of darkness, not the sentient darkness, but just struggles within himself, because after his first encounter with Luna's family, the world was not good to him. They didn't believe that mermaids, killed his parents and so on. And the people who were supposed to take care of him did not. They took advantage of him. And so he has many mental scars. On one hand, him and Luna want to play house and live a nice kind of human life. But on the other hand, he wants to enact revenge upon people who've wronged him. And Luna is down for that, whatever, will make him happy. So there's conflict from his world that clashes with her dreams of, this happy kind of go lucky family. And then Ian has an ex who has gotten into a lot of trouble, who ends up resurfacing and brings more threats to Luna and Ian, and it goes from there. There's also a companion that Luna has in the first book named Nappa, who is a shapeshifter, and so he has a big role, of course, in the second book as well. Trying to protect Luna, trying to also protect Nessa, who is Ian's ex. They, have a bit of a connection too. And so they all have very interesting journeys together. There's also a new character introduced named Skulls. At least that's his code name. He's a hacker, very brilliant guy who is a good friend of Ian, would do anything for him as long as he pays. And he is there to help them make Luna legit and give her a background and identification and so on. And so he's a really a big benefit to them in the story, and he's a interesting guy as well. Very interesting story, lots of threats and lots of villainy. It's a very romantic story. It's dark. It has a lot of action in it. There's no cursing in the book. There's no sex scenes in the book. There's plenty of kissing and stuff. It's very romantic, but it's also very violent and dark as well. It's got a lot of great action scenes, especially at the end of the book. But throughout it, Luna is very haunted, I would say, by her demons. So I encourage you guys to check out The Sea Witch to see where Luna's story goes. Also, the Cursed Water series does exist within a cursed universe. So there's Cursed Water, and there's Cursed Blood, which right now has Anubis, the Princess of the Damned, and then also Cursed Moon, which has Phases of a Broken Sky and also Embers on a Dying Moon. So there's mermaids and sea witches and vampires and also werewolves. Eventually you will see all these books come together. There are some mentionings within each ones of like, oh, mermaids exist here, or vampires exist here, or werewolves, etc. So as you go further along, there will be more people intersecting with one another, and I can't wait to like the big cursed book where they all come together. Anyway, I hope you guys really enjoy the books, and you guys can go to ninjadustpublishing.com to learn more about those books and my other titles. And I do have books available on Amazon, so you can search my name, Christina Barr, and there's plenty there. I have 18 books altogether, so happy reading. God bless you guys, and enjoy.